What's up, everybody? Just want to make a quick video about this Michigan coach getting in trouble. It really, I know I should be used to it by now, and I kind of felt like it was coming, even though I didn't really see how you could make it racial. But of course, people have made it racial. It's just like the "what about Brett Favre" stuff. Now it's "what about Rick Pitino and Bobby Petrino?" Yeah, last I checked, those dudes got fired for cheating, for getting caught cheating on their spouses. They got fired immediately. Rick Pitino has multiple national championships at different schools, and 6 years is how long it took him to get another D1 head coaching job, and it's at Seton Hall, not exactly a powerhouse. Or St. John, it's with one of them, I can't remember. Anyway, he's not back at a Kentucky, a North Carolina, a Duke, a Kansas. He's not at one of those, not even Florida, none of those. He's at, I think it's Seton Hall. But anyway, and of course, Bobby Petrino was out of coaching for a year. He had to take a job at he was out of coaching, I think, for 2 years, then took a job at Western Kentucky, a low tier football team. And then he was out, I think, for 2 more years, and then he got another chance, I think, back at Louisville. But anyway, it took those guys years, and all they did was get caught cheating. That's all. They didn't go to jail. They didn't threaten anybody with a knife. They didn't kick anybody's door in or anything like that. Well, Sherrone Moore, he didn't just get caught cheating. He doubled the salary or tripled the salary of the staff member that he was sleeping with. And then he got arrested for felonies and stuff. So, of course, he got fired. But, leave it to Jemele Hill and Ryan Clark to make him out to be a victim and to make black coaches be a victim out of this. It's just crazy to me. Guess, why didn't they say that about Mel Tucker when that stuff happened with Mel Tucker, when he was sexually harassing a lady who literally goes around and gives speeches about sexual harassment and how to report it and stuff? That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Like, that was a pretty dumb move, buddy. And then, of course, the coach of the Boston Celtics, who was cheating on his longtime girlfriend with a staff member. Which of those guys, out of Udoka, Tucker, Bobby Petrino, Rick Pitino, which of those people, there's 2 black guys and 2 white guys, they both got fired for cheating. Which one of those got a job at the same level immediately? Only one of them did, Udoka. He got hired for the very next season to coach, I think, the Rockets. So the only coach who's been caught cheating, public cheating scandal like that immediately got another job at the same level is one of the black coaches. But just leave it to Jemele Hill. I wonder if they're going to get second chances like the white coaches did. Bitch, they're the only ones who did get one. One of the black coaches is the only one who did immediately get another chance. Rick Pitino's way more accomplished than any of those guys, and it took him 6 years to get back into the FBS Division One, not FBS, that's football, but to get back into a Division One coaching job, and it's at a small school. He still isn't back at the same level of program that he was when he left. He still isn't. It's like, it's so tiresome of some people making everything about race. It's so tiresome, especially in a situation like this where it's clearly not about race. It's clearly not. Those white coaches were accomplished. Most of them had better resumes than Mel Tucker and Sherrone Moore, and they got fired immediately for cheating. And they didn't go threatening to kill themselves, kick down somebody's door and threaten them with a knife. They didn't do any of that. So if he doesn't get a second chance, it's not because he's black. It's because he did way worse than anybody else in those situations. He did way worse. None of those people, black or white, got arrested for stuff and crashed out like that. He's the only one who did that. And like I said, it's already proven that black coaches will get another chance, a quicker another chance than any white coach did. So as usual, the reality is the exact opposite of the race baiters' claims. it should be the white coaches saying, I wonder if a white coach is going to get another chance like Udoka did. The answer is no, they're not. And we know this because it's happened and they didn't. So it's just, it gets so exhausting for people to always twist things into race. Some things are about race, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But they are few and far between nowadays with so much attention on everything. Everybody's got cameras, everybody's recording stuff all the time. And of course, being exposed for being a racist is probably one of the worst things can happen to you. People are, the racists are very, they're way more subtle with it and hide it way better now because they know the consequences if it gets exposed. And it's just so ridiculous to always to constantly cry wolf and blame everything on race. What? A black person had consequences for their actions? What about Brett Favre? You know what I'm saying? It's so tiresome. And it not only doesn't accomplish anything, it actually holds a lot of people in the black community back, because you cannot go around with a victim mentality like that, thinking the world is against you and you're not going to succeed no matter what you do because you're black. How motivated are you going to even be to try? You know what I'm saying? How motivated are you even going to be? And when some obstacles do come up, you know what I'm saying? You're just going to feel like, oh, well, I'm a victim, I'm black, I can't, it's because I'm black. And most of the time it's not. The idea that white people don't have to deal with any of the same stuff is just ridiculous. And it's just, like I said, it accomplishes nothing. All it does is keep people divided along racial lines. And all it does is mentally oppress a lot of black people, especially young black men. You know what I'm saying? If I was raised up and told my whole life, well, you're, straight white man, you ain't gonna, you got to work twice as hard for half as much. The country is irreparably racist against you. You're never going to be equal ground to the blacks or Mexicans or whoever they're using as an example. If I was told that my whole life, it would probably affect me the same way. I'm human. You know what I'm saying? And it does no good. It not only does no good, it does a lot of harm to the people you claim to care about. And that's the thing. The race baiters, they're just exploiters. That's all. They don't really care. They really don't. They don't really care about uplifting the black community. Because you don't uplift anybody by steadily beating them down like that. And steadily telling them that they're being beat down when they aren't. You're not uplifting anybody with that kind of rhetoric. You're not. You're just playing that card, and you're manipulating people, because the race is a very sensitive subject. Understandably, for most black people, it's a very sensitive topic, and you exploit that and manipulate that to enrich yourself, get fame and money. And it's disgusting, it's pathetic, and you will have to answer one day for what you're doing. Peace.